Good morning. This is Mr. Henry Clement for your revision. This is for the year 7, week 13, assigned division 3. Thank you for joining me, okay, for these few months, okay, and I hope that you are learning well. Thank you for joining me, okay, for these few months, okay, and I hope that you are learning well. Thank you for joining me. Okay, can you hear me? Yes, sir. Okay, very good. So we are doing some division, okay, just to point you some of the main point you need to do and grab through, okay. You may always get some exercise, you may always get some extra discussion with your friends, or you can try to teach others about the concept. I am sure that by teaching you can learn better. The chapter 8 we learn about matter. You know that matter everywhere, right? You can see some solid, you can see some liquid and gas. You need to compare the state of matter here. Thus, you need to know about their mass, the definite mass, okay, their definite mass, shapes. This shape can be changed. The volume of these two volumes are the same, but the gas can be compressed. In fixed position, cannot flow. This one can slide past each other, but there's the gas can flow easily. Next, we learn about the idea of the metals, some from the really ancient, okay, Greek philosopher. Okay, this is the Democritus. Okay, and then how we look at the individual atoms using a very powerful microscope called an electron microscope. This one now we can see it here. You can see the atom is lining out in the lattice pattern, the keyword lattice. And then we have learned about the particle theory, which is if something is melt, what happened to the particle itself? So you need to describe from the vibrate to move around each other and move freely. This is the three things that you need to know, and then you need to show us that how energy changed this structure. The keyword will be like this is vibrate in the fixed position, to and fro. This one is they can have enough energy to slide past each other, but not overcome the attraction between. This one, the attraction, the movement, the speed and movement is overcoming the attraction between the particles, and they can move freely. In other words, you can describe that the attraction between the particle is small as compared to the kinetic movement. Okay, so you need to know how to describe melting. And give some example. Freezing, evaporation, boiling, and condensation. I've done this one in detail, so I hope that you can read by yourself. I'll go back to our previous YouTube. Okay, and then we do some sublimation. So it's one very special thing, which is they didn't go through the liquid state from solid direct go to the gas or gas to the solid. We also learning a thing which is called dissolving. Dissolving, the particle here we call it solute, The water is called solvent. And then the final thing is called the solution. This is the keyword you need to know and learn. There are always some space between the particles. So the solid can go into the gaps between the particle of the solvent, the liquid, and spread evenly. When we spread evenly, we use the word called equilibrium. Equilibrium to show that the movement of the solvent and the solid, okay, are now in the stable state, which is a balance. So from this chapter, always remember here, summary. The three states of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. You need to know this one well. Each state of matter has its own set of property. Yes, all you need to learn. The particle of theory of matter explains what matter is made from. The particle of theory matter can be used to explain the structure of the three states of metals. The matter can change state in reversible reaction. So this is slightly easy. So this is a physical change and not a chemical change. So this is a physical reaction and not a chemical reaction. The particle theory can be used to explain how the structure of matter changes when it changes state. So today's purpose is not about telling me about solid changing to liquid is melting, but you must tell me what happened to the particles. Okay, the particle of solid, okay, gain more energy and they try to vibrate more, and as more energy is added, they can vibrate strong enough to overcome the attraction to hold them in a fixed position. Now they are start to slide past each other. So this is the melting, the way of describing using particle theory. The particle theory of matter can be used to explain how substances dissolve also. Okay, not only that, you can describe many things. Okay, so now we come to the property of matter and material. So the scientists use atom. If they say, oh, last time, if you cut the one thing, for example, gold, cut into half, it's still gold, but still in cut, you insist to cut half, and then at the end, you cannot cut anymore. Okay, so this is called element. If you still want to cut the element, you will change to another thing already. So an atom is an element most of the time, because why? Because it means the same thing. Can you see? The atom is the unsplittable element. Okay. So if you split the element, then everything will change already. Okay, this is called the particle accelerator. I think you have learned this one. You want to go to internet and can have a nice documentary on this. Okay. There are 93 elements that occurs naturally, and 24 elements have been made artificially. Okay. The first thing that we need to recognize is the matter and non-matter. So we need to know about all the metals and their properties, and all the non-matter and their properties. These are some of the properties. Shiny surface for the metal, endowed. Okay, you have the usually solid, as then the mercury can be shaped by pressing, stretching, which is malleable and ductile. And melting point is high, boiling point is high, density is always high. Good conductor of heat and electric. Okay, so for the non-metal will be solid, liquid, and gas. Solid are usually soft or bristle. Use the melting point, all these are and density are low, and they are poor conductor of heat and electric except graphite. And then we need to focus on the types of the nonmetal element here. This is on the right hand side of the periodic table. This is some exception. Okay, so to study this, always remember that we have exception for the general rule, to the general rules. Okay, general rule is one, and the exception is another. Metal alloy. Alloy is a mixture of the two types of the metal or metal with other things. You can always mix something to the metals. Okay. This will slightly change the property, the color, and also the hardness and the color. Okay. So we know that atom. Okay. Then now we need to learn about molecule. Sometimes two atoms, same type, combine together to become molecules. For example, our gas. The gas which we breathe in, it is oxygen. It's 2O2. O2, O2 means oxygen 2. It's oxygen. And then we also have other things called, other than molecules, a compound. Compound is like, for example, our table salt, sodium plus a chloride become a chlorine, become a sodium chloride. This is, I think, happens in our daily life. All the things we use, for example, there is one very long chain, we call it a starch or cellulose. So the same unit and chemical unit, they combine together to become a very long chain. This is a cellulose. Okay, so there are a lot of things we need to investigate. Okay. So something which is, we call it iron ore or ore, mineral ore. ORE is a original rock, the rock that contains all this metal. Okay. We also learned about the property of material. Yeah, this one we need to investigate. When I give you two things, you need to investigate through their dimension, through their some features. Number one is their surface appearance. Is that rigid? Or can be bent? Are they flexible? Change their shape? Hard or soft enough? Malleable? Can be hammered to change their shape? To make a Chinese wok, cooking wok? Bristle? They can break easily? Can they absorb something? A lot of hole, porous inside? Are they waterproof? Last week I showed you that you must have the water resistant and water repellent. These are the two that you need to differentiate. Transparent, translucent, opaque. Heat conductor, heat insulator, electrical conductor, electrical insulator. So all this we need to recognize, okay? Making a property perform. Yes. This is an experiment that I think I show you, okay? This is a circuit, and if you close a switch, okay, with the sample being tested here, so if the bulb lights up, that means this is a good conductor of electric. If not, it means this is a poor conductor of electric or insulator. So this is the part that we need to learn. The whole book shows us that. An element is made up of one kind of atom. Element can be divided into metal and nonmetals. Metal and nonmetal have different properties. There are a few metal and nonmetal that have exceptional property. Yes, this is quite exceptional to the general rules. Some metal are a mixture of metal called alloys. There is a wide range of property that its material may have. Material can be examined to find the property of their process. Material can be assigned to group according to their properties. Okay. So we come to the last part for today, which is the acid alkaline. This is the division. This is Mr. Henry Clement. We may always look for our different color note to get some material, some resource, such as notes, exercise, past papers, compilation, or everything you can get there. Okay. In chapter 10, we should learn about acid and alkaline, and what is acid, what is alkaline, and then how to use the indicator to test them, to know them, and then how to make the acid and alkaline lose their property, which is so-called the neutralization. Okay, and then the use of neutralization. Okay, so the early acid and alkaline. Okay. Acid. Okay. From this book, these are the acid things. Okay, acid, for example, from plant. Okay, and then this is from the animals. Acid also in the vinegar. Okay. There are organic acid and mineral acid. So other than the hydrochloric acids, okay, all the acids produced by plant and animals are called organic acids. Mineral acids are not produced by the living thing, but they discovered by the scientists such as Goebbels. Okay. So we have alkalis also. Alkalis is all, okay, all the words will come out with the hydroxide. Hydroxide is called the alkalis. And the acids also all the time come out with the word acid, 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 acid. Okay. So these are the items that the usage, normal daily usage of the alkalis. And then we need to learn about, I think you have learned this one, the flower. If you planted the flower on the soil, it will appear into two different colors to show that one soil is an alkaline and the other soil is an acid. So scientists invented this on PS scale, which is from the 0 to 14. Okay, so in the middle one is the green color, which is the neutral. Okay, if you have something, give me a metal that we don't know their character, we don't know their property, whether they're acid or alkaline. You can always test with the solution, and then you can see the compared to the scale, and then you know that, oh, maybe this is lime water. 10. Okay, so the acid and alkaline you add together will form the salt and water. So this is called neutralization. You can see this acid, hydroxide, acid, hydroxide, acid, hydroxide. And then the word is that this sodium will go to this acid is chloride. So it's a sodium chloride. You can see the salt is here. Water is the same all the time. So this is potassium, this is sulfate. It will become potassium sulfate. This is sodium, this is nitrate. It will become sodium nitrate. Okay, you can get this salt name, okay, from the combination of these two acid and alkaline. Again, let me show you again. Sodium chloride, potassium sulfate, sodium nitrate. Okay, on the other hand, you have the sodium hydrogen carbonate plus the acid. You will get you a sodium chloride, which is also sodium chloride, and then carbon dioxide and water. Sodium hydrogen bicarbonate, also called sodium bicarbonate. Okay, this is a very useful thing. Okay. using different interaction. Okay, for example, insect sting. Okay, a bee sting may be acidic. Okay, it's acidic and can be neutralized by the soap, which is alkaline. However, a wasp sting is alkaline and may be neutralized by the vinegar, which is a weak acid. So you must know this insect is a bee or wasp. Swelling indigestion. Sodium bicarbonate is used in some of the tablets that are made to cure indigestion. Okay, and then baking a cake, a model volcano. Okay, we are going to make this volcano in the channel called in our Facebook page. You can have a look there. Okay, so fighting a fire, improving a crop soil. Okay, acid. We need to learn about acid rain. Acid rain. This is because in the air we have the carbon dioxide, and it will turn the rain very acid called a carbonic acid. But this is very weak, okay. However, it will cause limestone to be like in the England. Can you see this limestone? You have see some part of the limestone, okay, has dissolved by rainwater. But now this is even worse with the fuel in the such as coal and the oil, petrol, because we contain a lot of sulfur. Sulfur dioxide in the air as compared to carbon dioxide, this is a stronger acid. Okay, so power station that burn, okay, using the sulfur dioxide from the chimney, okay, and also the nitrate, which is oxide of nitrogen, nitric acid. Okay, these two are considered a strong acid. Okay, this may actually harmful to the earth. Okay, for example, to the surface of the limestone and also the metal one. Okay, the metal, because metal and acid will react together. So what is the effect of the acid rain? The acid, when the acid rain reaches to the ground, it drains to the soil, dissolves some of the mineral there and carry them away. This process is called leaching. Some of the mineral are needed for the healthy growth of plant. Without the mineral, the plant becomes stunted and may die. The acid rain drain into the river and lake and lower the pH of the water. Okay, so this is too sensitive. If the animal life, then they will be cannot survive. Okay, so this is for today's. Okay, so some acid and okay, this is summary. You need to know that some acid are made by vinegar. The acid in the vinegar are ethanoic acid. The mineral acid are nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and hydrochloric acid. Sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are example of alkalis. And acid turn blue lemons red, and alkaline turn red lemons blue. The pH scale is used to measure the degree of acidity and alkalinity of the solutions. Okay, when an acid reacts with alkaline, a neutralization reaction takes place. Neutralization reaction have a wide range of uses. Acid rain can be formed naturally. Air pollution can cause acid rain. Alkalis can be used to prevent acid rain. Okay, so that's all for our revision today. I hope that this 3-chapter quick revision help you to grab the overall view for this 3-chapter. This is Mr. Henry Clement. This is your revision class. I hope that you enjoy our class, and thank you. And for you to share and subscribe us, because it will help me to get easier when I reach 50 subscribers, so that I can live directly through my phone without going through the computer. Thank you. If you can, always share and help me. Thank you very much. This is Mr. Henry Clement. Later we have the mathematics lesson for year 7. Thank you very much.